beginning, there was nothing. And then there was the Drunken Peasants Podcast.
I gotta get a witness. No!
Say, man, you got a joint? No, not on me, man.
I don't have facts to back this up.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
That's true. Sometimes I cry.
Oh! Lick my butthole, he laughed.
From the strangest corners of the internet, here to bring you opinions of the world from an altered perspective. Here are your hosts, the Drunken Peasants.
Hey, we're back again. Let me
Fuck
fix
it.
the volume on
Do it
it, 'cause
live.
you can't hear
It sounds a little different than usual.
Yeah, I actually have the stereo channels on for one thing. So there's like, you notice how there's like two channels. Normally I have it mono for us to hear. Actually,
Everything about this is disarming.
there
we
switched
go.
it back.
There we go. We're back in full effect. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yes.
I was dying a little bit just listening to you. I was like, why is
Yeah.
it like this? What's going on?
Yeah.
My world. I was gonna honestly, Ben, I was so close to getting up and slapping you.
Yeah.
Oh, what a fun night. Like nobody cares about the Oscars.
I mean, enough people do. Like people I knew were doing live streams of it already.
Like who, Monday and Matt?
no, like Adam and Scott were doing
Oh yeah,
one.
they're movie guys. That makes sense.
Well, yeah. So people do care. I
Yeah.
mean,
They must have had a fun reaction to that.
probably. I can't even imagine.
For real. Scott would be like, ooh, a slap. This is more my field than yours, Adam. Oh,
This one's for all my beautiful women around the
who's
world.
it for?
Someone should rewrite
All my
this
Holly
song.
Berry's
It's
to
for-
Roger B. Henson's and Monique's and
For Jada Pinkett
deserve an
Smith.
Oscar.
Goldberg.
This is for Jada Pinkett
This
Smith.
one's for y'all. I've been watching you from afar. You really stole my heart. When you stare up that car.
So-
you look like a true star.
So when I found out
You
it
deserve
happened,
a slap?
So when I found out that it happened, I didn't go turn on the Oscars because that's on TV. I couldn't rewind it, so I just went to Twitter and it was everywhere. And the first thing I saw were there are people that think I think it makes them feel smart to think that they are, they'll call out something for being fake when there's really no reason for these guys to fake this at all.
Even if it is fake, like the discussion is still real. There's still a moral quandary here that we have to talk about.
Sure. It's almost definitely not fake. These guys had nothing to gain from doing something like that. I heard people say ratings. It's like, well, the ratings aren't going to go up now that that's already happened. It's just like, it's...
But people talk about it on social media more, and that brings more attention to the Oscars. So there definitely is like a social score credit there if they were to fake it. Eric gave a $20 dono about 1 minute ago and said, I hope Chris Rock names the welts the Fresh Prince of No Hair. Though Will Smith is right about
I
lovemaking.
disagree. There's
you
literally
do crazy things.
There's no upside to
For
faking
example,
it.
his wife loves him so much, she cheated on him and made him cry about it on a live video.
That was interesting when that happened.
I mean,
so
there is obviously benefits to
I
faking
knew you
this.
were going to do this.
But there is.
No,
like,
there's
I
not.
could name them
Dude,
off.
It was like the biggest accomplishment of his life, and it was overshadowed because he couldn't control his childlike emotions. Will Smith, I've never been a fan of Will Smith. He's always come across to me as a narcissist. I don't really think he's that talented. I kind of feel like The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was his best work, and everything else is just kind of like they couldn't find a better actor, so they picked a big name to fill the shoes. It's weird. Didn't you say they have more nominees for categories now, or is that just for best
It
picture?
might just be for Best Picture.
I don't
think
know.
There's only 5 for this.
I never saw Will Smith as a world-class best actor kind of actor.
I wonder why. I think a lot of people see him as a best actor kind of actor.
Not me.
I think he's always been up there.
His music was trash. I just never liked him at all, and his personality is just shit.
Seems like you had judged Will Smith before this slap.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of him. So this kind of confirms it.
Well, I mean, like, do we have the clip? Do we have the
Oh,
one
we got
I
all
sent?
kinds of
the
stuff.
full.
I got all kinds of
There's
stuff.
like the full, like the joke before even is important.
Oh, and there's
to
a
this.
poll, everybody. I have Will Smith was in the right, Will Smith was in the wrong, or it was fake, which is basically saying I'm an idiot.
You guys might want to wait to vote on that until I make my case for King Richard, Will Smith. But this first clip, I'm pretty sure it has the joke before everything happened. The joke before is very important to all of this.
People like to call out conspiracy theories because it makes them feel smart and there's no way to disprove them. Something like that. So they can do it and be like, look what I found out that no one else understands. It's some weird jerk myself off narcissistic bullshit.
If that's what you think,
I
that's
do.
not really that important to this conversation.
Okay,
though.
okay.
But what we should do is watch the clip, including the joke before.
Well, here's the slap in slow mo, just so people can see it.
Yeah, the slap's not
There
that
was-
important.
There was ripples. There was ripples going through his face.
Yeah,
I love you. G.I. Jane 2.
no,
Can't wait
we
to see it.
do we have
All right?
a clip from the joke before this? Because this is like
This was the joke
I'm the
from
big Will Smith fan. But Ben is being a bit harsh. His early rapping from the late 80s was pretty good and hilarious.
he had some great
I don't
songs.
think it was that great.
Getting Jiggy with It is a classic.
That's not even his 80s stuff. That's his 90s stuff. His 80s stuff is like what was it? Parents Just Don't Understand. That was like the big one.
Yeah, Summertime is one of his
that
best
was
songs.
in the 90s.
But Getting Jiggy with It is a classic.
It is not a classic. That's a fucking awful song.
Men in Black is a classic. The Wild
Are you
Wild West is
joking?
a classic.
I hope you're joking.
It's good music.
It's not.
So the joke before this, if you guys watch
I'll
the
get
entire
it.
set, it's imperative to the entire story here, and it tells a story that I think a lot of people might be overlooking, and that's what we really have to look at the entire picture here, the entire segment, because the entire segment tells a much deeper story, and when you look at it from that way, and you take out your personal bias.
Oh, you never had personal bias.
I mean, I often think outside of myself about things. I'm what they call a big brain thinker. So once we get this clip up, I'll take you down the road of the story here.
So the guy that says he views himself like other people would view a god also thinks outside of himself.
Of course, you have to when you're that important.
Whatever, dude.
When you're omnipotent and
Whatever.
important, you gotta go beyond yourself.
Jesus Christ.
That's not my name.
Well, I had a whole show.
Oh, this is Howard Stern?
No, there's
Oh, hold on. Here it is. This was something else that I downloaded. It is.
You know who's got the hardest job tonight? Javier Bardem.
Okay,
and
pause
his
right
wife
here.
are-
Javier Bardem and his wife, right? Let's just right before the Jada Pinkett Will Smith joke, we have Javier Bardem and his wife.
One of the other hosts, one of the hosts called out Jada Pinkett and how she was hooking up with dudes too earlier that night.
That's classy. So this line right here is very important. Listen to this.
both nominated.
They're both nominated.
Now, if she loses, he can't win.
See? If she loses, he can't win. All right, the depth of this right here. They're both nominated. If she loses, he can't win. That means if she's down and he wins, he's not going to be able to enjoy it because she's down. Okay? This is literally seconds before the altercation. So let's remember this picture was painted in our brains literally seconds before we see a huge Jada Pinkett loss. Okay?
He is praying that Will Smith wins. Like, please, Lord. Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right?
Now, Will Smith laughing it off because he's had to laugh off a whole lot over the last couple of years.
Either that or he legitimately thought it was funny.
I'd say he's smiling and laughing because he's had to do that a whole lot just to get here over the last couple of years.
I think he thought it was funny.
Sure.
And then her reaction, the camera's about to pan away, and I feel like she gave him the look.
Of course, because this is what the situation he just explained with Javier Bardem was that he can't win if his wife loses. And Will Smith's wife just lost. And he sees that on her face. And what does he have to do? He has to lose himself a little bit because he knows he can't win tonight. If she's mad, if she's angry, if she's hurt, he has to be hurt with her. That's what you do when you're passionately attached to somebody. When you have an entanglement.
I think the joke wasn't even that offensive. I'm not even sure if he really knew that her baldness was due to a medical condition.
Doesn't matter.
I think he probably just thinks she shaved her head.
Yeah, none of that really matters. Like this is a husband and a wife. This is somebody you've gone through the last 20, 30 years of your life fighting with, fighting for,
that doesn't
fighting
matter,
against.
Billy.
Sure.
I don't know.
Well, yeah, you don't know. I'm just explaining my side of the story.
Okay.
And you can listen or you can say it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me what you say. I'm telling my point of view. Now,
I'm just saying, like, everything I've said so far, you say it didn't matter.
Well, what have you said?
Stuff that doesn't matter, apparently. Go ahead and finish what you're saying.
Yeah, so you said, like, you don't like Will Smith's music, you don't like a bunch of stuff. I said, yeah, that's not applicable
You said the
to this
slap
situation.
doesn't matter. You said, like,
yeah, the
literally
slap's
everything.
not important. It's not important.
Okay.
Because we're going through the story here. All right. Now, this is what happens. Will Smith is trying to laugh it off, and he's had to laugh off a lot of jokes, a lot of shit about his personal life, and he's had to put this face on the entire time. When he sees her face,
that was a nice one. Okay.
That was a nice
I'm out
one.
here.
He gets up. He's like, well, fuck. He's like, I can't win this Oscar tonight with her like that. You literally set it up before with Javier Bardem. You told Javier Bardem he can't win if his wife loses. Will Smith walks right up. Smacks him in the fucking face.
Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
And Chris Rock was able to comment on it. Will Smith just smacked the shit. That's very surprising. That's very disarming, very surprising.
And on the United States feed of this all was muted from this point forward.
Yeah, it was all cut. Keep your wife's name out your fucking mouth. He's had enough. He's had enough. And he just did something, right? That's illegal. He did something that
it is illegal. He did it on TV.
He committed a crime in front of the world.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Wow, dude.
And
it was a G.I. Jane jump.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
This morning I went back and watched the 1999 MTV Awards, and Chris Rock was doing this same shit, insulting people in the front row, all the famous people.
Yeah.
And it showed Will and Jada Pinkett in the crowd laughing at it.
Yeah.
So, like, he's used to this shit. And this is literally what Chris Rock's job is.
Yeah.
Like, he was literally just doing the shit he's been doing for like 20 years now.
Yeah.
Will Smith needs to get some counseling or something.
Maybe. I think he's got a whole lot of problems beyond counseling. He's going through life right now, and he's living, and he made some choices, and his choice was to get up and slap Chris Rock in the face.
He strikes me as almost like a Tom Cruise kind of.
They're pretty close, aren't they?
I think they're both into Scientology. He strikes me as that level of narcissism and someone who's been famous, like, you know, a pretty high level of fame ever since he was, like an older teenager.
I think there's a lot of pressure on Will Smith, and this is him blowing off some steam.
There's a lot of pressure on everybody. He doesn't feel the same kind of pressure most people do.
Yep.
Like,
you can never understand what's going on through his head, right?
Well, I think he's out of touch with reality.
Or his reality is completely different than what we could fathom.
We all live in the same reality.
We all live in very different mindsets, though, right? So watch this.
Going to, okay? Okay.
Chris Rock is obviously, like, fucked off all this, but he says right here right here, the important thing.
That was a greatest night in the history of television. Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go. That's the story. That's the story. Chris Rock didn't get murdered. Will Smith, if he gets his Oscar taken away,
It
whatever,
might happen.
whatever. He knew in that moment when he did what he did, he knew the consequences. He knew what could happen.
I don't know if he did at that moment necessarily.
He's not stupid. Like, you know, you could lose it all. You know,
I think
he could get pulled out by security and sent to jail.
It didn't happen.
Exactly. You know what happened? The greatest night in television history.
I think he's such a narcissist. He didn't think that would happen.
I mean,
and that's a common trait.
I think as there's different types of men, right? There's the type of man that if he sees his wife, his girlfriend, or whatever hurting, he's gonna do something about it, right? And they've been through so much hurt recently.
Poor them.
You could write it off all you want, but that literally. There's so many this is my favorite thing too. There's so many people.
This isn't
online.
you sucking rich dick like Jeff Holiday said?
No, Jeff Holiday's a fucking idiot. He sucks all dick. I don't suck any dick. I just happen to see things outside of personal necessity. I see the world around me and I judge it accordingly. Okay. This guy right here got up, has all the money in the world. If I had Will Smith money, I'd be slapping more people. This isn't the first time Will Smith slapped somebody.
Yeah, he slapped a reporter that tried to kiss him on the lips.
Yeah.
That was like a tap that he gave that guy.
Yeah.
Though.
But there's two types of people in this. There's the people that are like, oh, you can't hit somebody, you can't hit somebody, you can't hit somebody. And there's the people that are like, yeah, you can hit somebody. You just have to accept the consequences. He got up, he hit Chris Rock.
You can hit somebody. No, that is true.
Yeah.
But the law says you can, and if you do, there are consequences. But for someone like Will Smith, there are less consequences.
Much less.
The consequences aren't the same.
Yeah, they're much different.
And his fucking acceptance speech just reeked of toxic narcissism. We'll get to that. He talked about himself like he was fucking Jesus in that. It's ridiculous. Let's see. What is this? Oh, there's still that. Oh, the memes are great though.
Oh, wow.
He did not really explode him, did he?
Yeah. Look at that. It's The Sims.
Oh, yeah.
He said Richard. I don't know if Richard's like the producer or like security.
No, it's the role he played in the movie,
you're right.
King Richard.
You're right.
He was mocking him by his role.
Now, some people might not even had heard of G.I. Jane because it was like a 25-year-old movie, but calling someone G.I. Jane really isn't an insult. Like Demi Moore in her prime was G.I. Jane, and I don't know. It's
making fun of her bald head, and if she is dealing with alopecia and it's a personal thing, Will saw that and he felt like he had to stand up and do something about it.
I think that's a wrong move and kind of dumb, but I still don't care either way. Like a joke's a joke and everyone gets roasted on
but
the
a slap's
Oscars.
a slap. Like a slap's not that big of a deal either.
It's still it's a way bigger deal.
Not really. Judd Apatow was out
He
there
could
being like,
lose his Oscar and be charged criminally.
worth
for
it. Could you imagine winning
So
an
there
Oscar?
are bigger deal objectively.
Could you imagine winning an Oscar than trying to have them take it away? Like,
Well, they're not going to take
care.
they're not going to take the trophy away from
Yeah,
him.
but the idea
they're going
that-
to take his name off the
Yeah, but
the books.
he'll have an asterisk. He'll be the most important
He
Oscar of
won't-
all time.
He won't even be there.
It'll be the most important Oscar of all time because it only lasted for 1 day or 1 week.
I don't know if that'll make it important, but it will make it unique. Here is.
I like how he won the Oscar shortly after Sidney Poitier's death. And Sidney Poitier, he played Sidney Poitier's son in one of his earliest films, 6 Degrees of Separation. And Sidney Poitier was notably the first African-American man to win an Oscar.
Yeah, when Denzel Washington got his Oscar, he was humble and thanked Sidney Poitier. Mm-hmm. And Will Smith just sucked his own cock on stage and cried like a little bitch the whole time.
You have to be humble.
I don't know. I don't know. Humility is something that can be valuable. Here's
so is slapping somebody.
It's not. There's no value. This dude's like a sports analyst and like a soap opera actor too.
What Will Smith did tonight was straight bullshit. Props and congratulations to him for winning the Oscar, because damn it, he deserved it. And I love the brother and I'm proud of him, but boy, was that a shameful act for him to commit tonight. To go up on stage and slap Chris Rock like that, he's lucky he didn't get his ass kicked, particularly after the event was over. If not by Chris Rock, to the fellas
I don't know if Chris Rock could have kicked Will Smith's ass. Chris Rock is that's another thing. That's another thing about Will Smith is like, I don't think he would have did that to someone his own size or larger.
Maybe not.
Yeah, I mean, we can't know because it didn't happen the other way, but
I
have a feeling Will Smith was kind of being
there's
a bully.
lot of, but is it a bully if you go up and you smack somebody who just talks shit about your wife?
Yes,
I think it's not a bully. He was provoked in a way that where he met the provocation with a beyond the amount of force you should meet it with. But he was provoked. The joke was a provocation. Like I'm all for people telling jokes. I think that Chris Rock should have doubled down and afterwards went harder.
He could have, but Chris Rock was actually the shining example that night because he just he kept going. He didn't even really miss a beat. A dude came up to him, something you wouldn't even expect to happen. It's like the most ridiculously stupid thing ever, and he just kept going.
Yeah, because he didn't get knocked out. He didn't really Judd Apatow was like, he could have killed him. He could have murdered him.
Well, that's not true.
Yeah, like there's this overreaching.
I guess there's this really slight chance maybe you could if you hit him.
Sure,
but
that's ridiculous. Like, he could have killed him. It was a slap. Chris Rock didn't even go down. Chris Rock was like stunned and had to catch himself. Like, what the hell just happened? And then showing his professional, like, not one person in all of this is gonna like lose, right? Everybody wins. Will Smith slap somebody at the Oscars.
I think having the Oscar matters a lot to him, and if they take it, it will be a loss for him. If not already, like. It's a bad look.
Dad did with him.
Who wants the Will Smith Oscar, right? That already went to somebody else.
No. They're not going to give it to somebody else. They will just remove it. Like Milli Vanilli won a fucking Grammy and they took it away. They didn't take the trophy away. They didn't give it to somebody else. They just were like, oh, this doesn't matter now. And Harvey Weinstein, I believe, had a couple Oscars.
Did
right?
he for producing?
Yeah, I believe so. Right? Didn't he?
He might have had
he
for
put
the
out
films
a bunch
he owned,
of shit.
but
yeah. And they wrote this new code of conduct. The Academy wrote a new code of conduct for people like Harvey Weinstein, and people are looking at it saying, like, if they really wanted to, they could probably take it away from them.
Yeah.
But it's written in vague language so that they can do that to anyone they want.
Everybody's saying what Will should have done. You know what? You're right. But what Will did was what Will did. And I think Will knows. He's not dumb. He knows the consequences.
I think he's dumb.
I don't think he's dumb at all. I think he's been spent the last 2 years everybody laughing at him. Like if you look at Twitter, right? People have been saying all this shit about you let your wife fuck a guy, but you won't let a guy take a joke about it.
Oh, everything people know about wasn't just something that somebody leaked on him. Him and her leaked all that shit on their own.
It came out in the song that the August Alsina made, and that's where it started to leak out. And
they talked about it on their little show
afterwards. Yeah, they talked about it because it started to come out
even more. They overshare. They are like some oversharing motherfuckers.
Maybe.
Yes.
Maybe it was
definitely.
Well, you don't study their lives, right? Like you're not deep into their lore. Like they felt the need to talk about
Billy
it.
The constant contrarian.
And to be honest, their relationship seems to be a lot deeper than most of America would understand.
Okay.
And this is actually a lot of the comments I see on this are polyphobic, and it sickens me.
Okay.
But I like Chris Rock too. It's like
he's like 50 something years old. He's not a little baby. He can. It's his problem. A lot of the shit's out there. All of the fame and all the money comes along with this kind of shit too. It always has. He's been in the game long enough. Either step away until you're better in the head, or fuck it, because this isn't going to make it better. If he's already torrented, people talking shit about him, it just got way worse now. He did not help himself.
I mean,
if he's that thin-skinned to the point where he can't control himself. When he was about to make the biggest accomplishment in his career, and it's all been overshadowed, and he might lose it.
Like literally, like the joke before, Javier Bardem, when Chris Rock called him out, said, if your wife loses, you can't win. Like it literally was set up into that moment.
It's a joke, not a call out.
But it's 100% relevant to the situation here. Will Smith knew in that moment, my wife just lost, and I'm going on to win an Oscar here too. He's like, I have to stand up and do something. And he stood up, he did something. And one of the great things I've been noticing is I've been like tweeting pro Will Smith stuff. And it's like all these like women, like these women are liking my stuff. They're like in agreement. And
Billy is killing it tonight. Have a 20 sweet boy.
Whee! Thank you, Honest Red. And a lot of guys that are like no, this is you should never do this. And I'm like, a lot of women are like, what Will Smith did was hot. A lot of guys that are married are like, I would have done that for my wife. So I think that this really is a tale of two different worlds here. There's the guys that are like, I would never do that. I would never do that. I would never do that for a woman. I would never do that in that aspect. They just don't get it, right? And I think that there's a whole other realm of people that get it and respect Will Smith for what he did.
This is just what you saw in your little corner of the internet people talk about.
This
not indicative of the overall
opinion. Well, there is no overall opinion, right?
There is an overall opinion.
No, there's a whole bunch of people that are barking about it because it's the new thing to talk about. But I've been seeing, in general, a lot of women that are like, that was fucking hot. That was like, Will Smith is a man. I respect that. So like, you can't say that like he's lost all respect here, right? There is a huge amount of people that looked at this like, you know what? If someone talked that way about my wife, I'd fucking get up and do something about it too. I saw a lot of that today.
Uh-huh.
What did you think when you saw Will smack Chris Rock?
I don't know. It was crazy. I don't know. It was surreal. A little surreal moment. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the word. Surreal.
Is it real? Is it not real? And it seemed pretty real.
Yeah, it's just surreal because the place it happened in. But, you know, and places all over the world, you know, real stuff be happening, you know?
Wow, what a great interview.
I mean, this is...
How insightful.
This is true.
Yeah, crazy stuff be happening.
It be happening.
This is... Now, I do want to point out that his award was presented to him by two bald guys.
Who was the other guy?
John
Sam
Travolta
Jackson?
and Sam Jackson.
Oh, man.
John Travolta doesn't look so bad, totally shaven bald.
John Travolta, also a Scientologist.
Yes. They're everywhere.
So this, actually, watching this was hard for me to watch. Are we gonna watch the whole thing?
I mean, maybe some of it. I mean,
yeah. Let's try and watch it. This was
cringe, dude. Like,
yeah, this made me like uncomfortable watching this.
He's fucking like, I don't know. Get this man on some DMT or something.
Kamala in the pleb chat says a slap shouldn't define your manhood. It shouldn't. I think it does.
Richard. Yeah, I wish Jason Momoa would have told a bald joke right there. See if Will Smith would slap him.
Williams was a fierce defender of his family.
During this speech, they had a nip slip for one of the Venus and Serena.
It was Venus. I
was
think.
Venus Serena,
Yeah.
Venus Williams. Her nipple slipped. Like as fucked up as this night already was. There was already a fucking assault on stage. And there's a titty popping out too.
By the way, Richard Williams condemned Will Smith in a public statement today.
Cool. Family.
In this time in my life.
Oh man, Will Smith for Fast and Furious 10. How good would that be?
I love how here he apologized to everyone except for the person he actually owed an apology to.
In this moment, I am overwhelmed.
Did he actually apologize in this?
To the Academy.
I didn't even catch that when I watched it.
Yes.
What God is calling on me to do and be in this world. making this film, I got to protect Ingenue Ellis, who was one of the strongest, most delicate people I've ever met. I got to protect Sanaya and Demi, the two actresses that played Venus and Serena. I'm being called on in my life to love people.
To love people. Dude, did he write this beforehand?
No, he's going off the fumes of passionate love.
And to protect people. And to be a river to my people.
A river to my people.
Now, no, to do what we...
And yeah, people are saying he apologized today. Yeah, he's being investigated for the possible removal of his award. So yeah, he put it out now.
You got to be able to take abuse. You got to be able to have people talk crazy about you.
I mean, you can give them less reasons by not sharing all of your personal details with the world.
I mean, the whole world's opening up their life, right? Like it's
I don't
it's
care.
already beyond not sharing.
You can choose how much you open up.
Well,
you don't have to do what the whole world does.
The whole world is eyes are on them, investigating.
It doesn't
them,
matter. It's his
peeling
choice.
at them.
It's his choice how much he chooses to talk.
And there's
about
a whole lot of options for him to talk, and moments where he has to respond or feels the need to respond. It's so much deeper than like most people will ever have to go through, right? Like
and then he also lives a more lavish and opulent lifestyle than most people could ever ask for.
Yeah,
and imagine.
And you couldn't buy
It comes with
privacy
it,
at that point,
and he
right?
could walk away any day he wanted. He could walk away if it wasn't worth it. If he's so tormented and abused, he could walk away from it. He's already got enough money where he doesn't need to work anymore.
But he enjoys the work. Now Chris Rock can start a porn career as Chris Cock and slap bitches in the face with his D. Julian Daniel, that might be what we should take from all of this. Actually, yeah, that's the quote of the night.
People disrespecting you, and you got to smile and you got to pretend like that's okay.
Now I see people in the chat like saying, "Oh, but and Cobes could quit YouTube." Cobes would make a lot less money in life. He would, like Will Smith, if he quit, he's got more than enough money to live the rest of his life on. He could never work another day in his life. He'd be fine. And his kids would be fine for the rest of their lives, too. It's not like he needs to work other than... I mean, he legitimately enjoys the work, yes.
It's his
But
it's
this
part of
shit
his
comes
passion.
with it. This shit comes with it. And this is the first time that we've seen something like this.
At the Oscars?
Yeah.
It's not that big of a thing.
You just said it was a big thing earlier.
What, the slap?
You said this event was a big thing.
Well, yeah, everybody's
Right.
talking
That's what
about
I'm saying.
it, right? But like, it's just a slap.
It's assault and battery.
Steiner Brothers going to the Hall of
Williams.
Fame. It's assault and battery if it's charged.
And what I loved, thank you, D. Denzel said to me a few minutes ago, he said,
So a crime isn't really a crime unless it's charged, is what you're saying.
your highest moment, be careful, that's when the devil comes for you.
Your highest moment. Be careful. That's when the devil comes for you. There's
That's what-
Denzel Washington.
When and I think I have at least a photo of it. Him like being coddled like a little baby, a 50-fucking-year-old man getting like hugged by older, wiser actors, telling him like, "Calm down, this is your big night."
Tell him he's okay. Tell him it's gonna be all right. And we all have mental like limits, right? There's like
just because
there's like
see,
a barrier.
you come in with this general statement. Oh, we all have mental limits, right? Yeah, he is mentally fragile. He shouldn't even have been there. If this is how he's going to behave. Yes, we all have our limits,
I don't think
Billy.
you can just choose to dodge the Oscars when you're nominated for an Oscar.
People have done it before.
But I think it's not a choice you should expect him to make.
I do. If this is how he's going to behave at the Oscars, yes.
Well, he didn't know. He was going to hold himself together. He didn't know this was going to happen.
Well,
it happened.
I mean, you were just saying
we're
he's gone
all
through
living very close to the edge at all times.
We all you use a lot of these general like we all do this
Because there's so many people like Will Smith that are just a fucking inch away from breaking.
Not everyone's like Will Smith. Not everyone's winning the Oscar for best actor.
But a lot of people have
and
mental
is a multimillionaire has been
have mental stress,
super
and there's a
famous
mental
their
stress
entire
limit.
Adult life.
And when that mental stress limit breaks, we all do shit we're not proud of.
Oh my God.
It's like I want to be a vessel for love. I want to say thank you to Venus and Serena.
Oh, they cut out the boob
because the
here.
boobie was out.
Yeah.
I hope they didn't see that on TV. I want to say thank you
There's
to
a boobie.
Venus and Serena and the entire.
Oh God.
There's like half a boobie out now.
Yeah. Does it show it in the?
I don't think so.
This came from YouTube, right?
Yeah.
The guy on the far left, I think that's Serena's husband.
Is he the Reddit guy?
Yeah.
Williams family for entrusting me
they're like,
with
edit,
your story.
edit. How about
That's
get the
what
camera
I
off
do.
of her if her boob's
I want to be
out.
an ambassador of that kind of.
RoboDad says we do shit we're
love
not proud of, but
and
newsflash, Billiams, we pay the price because we ain't got money.
Yeah.
So what, you just want to like laugh at the kings and queens? Is that what this is all about?
I think it's ridiculous that on TV they can show almost the entire boob, but just the little part that's colored differently. They're not allowed to show that.
Yeah.
It's really weird. Anyway.
That's the American.
That's too far. Basically, the whole boob is exposed. Both of them. Both of the Williams sisters, they got showing their boobs like I don't know, like 60-70% of the boob was showing already.
It's the American way.
Care and concern. I want to apologize to the Academy. I want to apologize to all my fellow nominees.
It was like the vigilant Christian Mario at his baptism.
Apologize to Uncle Phil.
This is a beautiful moment, and I'm not crying for winning an award. It's not about winning an.
Chris Rock ate that slap like it was nothing too. Like
yeah.
Will Smith is a bitch, man. He can't.
Award.
He had the balls to get up there and not even make it count.
For me, it's about being able to shine light on all of the people, Tim and Trevor and Zach and Sanaya and Demi and Ingenue and the entire cast and crew of King Richard and Venus and Serena, the entire Williams family. Art imitates life. I look like the crazy father, just like they said. I look like crazy father, just like they said about Richard Williams. But
Richard doesn't have his back.
Love will make you do crazy things.
That's the opinion that matters right there. That's the opinion that matters for Will Smith.
It doesn't matter.
Well, her opinion matters to him, right? Like they're in this together 4 hours before they went into the Oscars. They were on the red carpet, and Will Smith Instagram post, Jada and I came out tonight because we chose chaos. We chose to come out and create chaos.
To
what
my
happened?
mother,
They did it.
A lot of this moment is really complicated for me, but to my mother, she didn't want to come out. She's had her knitting friends. She has a knitting crew that she's in Philly watching. Watch it with. Being able to love
Moto
and care.
Guzzi 13 in the fan chat says, so now every comedian has to perform for psychos who will assault them? I mean, yeah, I think that every comedian should worry about an audience member coming to attack them based on what they say.
I would say,
and they should still say it. One thing Pimp Monk and Will Smith have in common is neither one of them can take a joke. Damn, Rat Lord Alcaraz. You better back off my boy Will Smith with that comment. He's nothing like... No, I'm kidding.
For my mother and my family, my wife, I'm taking up too much time. thank you for this honor. Thank you for this moment, and thank you on behalf of Richard and Oracene, the entire Williams family. Thank you. Hope the Academy invites me back. Thank you.
Now, I saw a clip, and it was a video clip, and they were claiming it was Will Smith and Chris Rock hugging it out in the crowd. But I don't know if it was actually them after it happened.
Here's the other thing. He's a slapper.
He's just a slapper.
They got rules.
You see this?
They got rules. Like, he has a rule. The bass player, he got a rule. He got to wax his head every morning. That's a rule.
They were like, oh, he's making fun of bald guy.
He follows the rules, man. He follows the rules. Oh, these are jokes. Come on. See, you got too into the characters and got hurt.
These are jokes. Come on. And here's another, he might have like extreme bipolar disorder. This is later that night. Motherfucker is dancing around, holding his Oscar trophy in his hand.
He just won an Oscar.
And singing. That doesn't mean he has to hold it the whole night.
That's what they usually do at Oscar parties, right? They walk around with them. That's the thing.
I don't think so.
I think so, yeah. I think that's tradition to walk around with the Oscar afterwards.
And he's like saying his own music.
Well, do you think the DJ? You think he asked the DJ to play it?
Maybe.
I think the DJ played it when he was in there, and he's like, "Fuck it, everybody's gonna be looking at me anyways. I'm going all on." This is.
I bet he's got pictures of himself all over his bedroom.
Maybe I would too if I was Will Smith. Yeah, my guys in the club, they play your song. It's either everybody stares at you while you sulk, or you go into it and do a little thing. It's simple. Being an actor / rapper, I understand everything Will Smith's going through right now.
Here's some other memes that I saw that I thought was funny. She's up in a cage.
I think Logan Paul's wrestling at WrestleMania this year.
Yeah. Stone Cold's coming out of retirement, too.
Is he? Who's he facing?
Kevin Owens.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Dead. Rumor is he's gay. Yes, the rumor is that Will Smith is gay, and that might be exactly why the shit going on with Jada and everybody else is even further none of our business.
Because he's not giving her the dicky dick, and so she's getting it somewhere else.
Because they're in an open relationship, but people in America don't understand the value of polyamory.
I don't
and
care
they're
about
very
that.
judgmental.
I don't care about that at all.
Well, you don't care about that, but America does.
America does. You generalize a lot of things.
It's 100%.
100% of America does.
It's 100% a Christian society. America.
It is not 100% a Christian society.
The values in America are Christian society values.
No, they're not.
They're very much so.
No, they're not. We have a way more secular society than we would have if it was 100% Christian values.
It's not 100% Christian values.
It's not even
but it's
50%.
The entire framework of our state or our nation has been pushed in by puritanical values. There's a reason why gays couldn't marry until fucking less than a decade ago, or a decade ago. Was it a decade ago?
There's that.
No, Robin, no.
I don't really care if he's going to talk about it publicly. People are going to say what they say, you know. A lot of people might not even actually care about it. They're just saying it to get a rise out of him.
Chop, chop. Chop, chop. He didn't know his wife was cheating till that interview? Are you sure
I don't know
that's
how
true?
we could possibly know that. We don't know all their personal conversations. It is weird that it was like their son's friend. Like, so they, like he was like younger, like early 20s or something.
He was a rapper. I thought they were working with him at some point.
They said that
they brought him in the house and he was living there.
Yeah.
But who knows the depth of the
it's
story?
It's none of my
for
business
real.
as long as everyone's an adult and consents and shit. Like, I don't care about that at all. But people are going to rag on him for it. It's just like how we get people trolling us here.
Mm-hmm.
We handle it better than he did.
How many times have you wanted to slap somebody for fucking with you?
I wouldn't do it.
Well, some people would, right?
Yeah, and they're stupid, and I'm allowed to judge them for it.
But you want to, right?
We there's all sorts of things. There's all sorts of things we want to do that we know are better not to do. It doesn't matter if I wanted to.
Is it better
wanting
not to do it? Right?
Wanting to do something is way different than actually doing it. These false equivalencies just really don't make any sense.
I just I know you've had vengeance in your mind before.
Everyone has.
Yeah, and he just went up. He did a little slap.
I don't give a shit. I get it in my mind, and I don't act on it. So he does it.
Mm-hmm.
More people have better self-control than him, and now people are going to judge him for it.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are judging him the opposite way too.
Okay, good point. I don't care. He only cares about the people judging him anyway.
I don't suck my own dick because I can't, not because I choose not to. Yeah, what Will did wasn't cool. I don't think it was cool what Will did either, but I mean, he
Billy
chose,
can't.
he made the choice, and he's going to deal with the consequences. He's already started apologizing.
And the point that I haven't seen you actually acknowledge is he gets away with it where like most people would have gotten arrested, would have gotten some sort of charge, would have gotten their ass kicked.
Not always. People get slapped all the time.
I don't mean always. But most people would have like if I was at like a musical downtown, if I went to like Wicked or something and one of the performers gave me like a cross look and insulted me and I went up on stage and slapped the shit out of them in front of everybody, I would go to jail. I would get arrested. Yeah.
Not necessarily though.
Not
I
necessarily.
think more people think they would get arrested than actually
Why does it not matter? Okay, well this is all speculation. It doesn't matter who would get it more or not. I'm saying more people would face consequences and he doesn't because of who he is.
Well, he'll face consequences in some way, right? He's already apologizing.
Know. That's not a consequence.
It is.
Only a narcissist would think that. Like,
hey, that's not true. I'm a realist. This stuff happens all the time. People slap all the time. People do worse. Like right here, Agent Buck says, my uncle literally stabbed my aunt in the gut and she didn't press charges and he was out the next morning. Right? Like this shit happens a lot more often than you would.
So what's your whole angle here, or you just like to disagree? So
I'm not disagreeing with anything. I'm saying Will Smith slapped Chris Rock. Chris Rock called it the greatest moment in television history.
It was a joke. It was almost kind of in jest.
Chris Rock didn't get. If Chris Rock would have got hurt, if he would have been like on his ass, if he would have been notably hurt, I'd probably be thinking a lot differently right now.
Well, that could just mean Chris Rock is tougher than Will Smith is.
I just think there's a lot of people clutching pearls and sending judgment that like, I think that's kind of corny too.
The judgment I'm passing is that he is a grown man, a very successful grown man who should have better control over his emotions, or he has no business being in events like that.
I don't know.
And if he can't take like a comedian doing the shit he's been doing for 20 years.
Lowbrow Jester says Chris Rock took it though. Makes you wonder how hard Big Willie can hit. It was a slap.
People was still like
people don't usually go down.
Do you
from
remember
slaps
the
unless
video
they're
where the
very
guy
weak.
like licked his hand and smacked that one dude and the dude like fell backwards?
Yeah, there's different types of slaps, right? Like there's the thudders that knock you the fuck out.
So he can't throw a thudder.
He didn't throw a thudder. You have options. He threw a very common. He was a quick slap. He got him really quick, so Chris Rock couldn't move, couldn't dodge. It was very quick. Got him pretty good. Like you even put it in slow mo and saw the face ripple.
That'll happen with any kind of slap, though,
Yeah.
even a soft one.
But it wasn't like a haymaker. I think if he would have knocked Chris Rock out, I'd feel a lot different right now. I'd be like, that's fucked up. That's fucked up. When I first saw it, it was like Will Smith just punched Chris Rock on stage. I was like, what? And I went looking to it like, did he really fucking sock him? Like, why would he sock him? Then I saw it was a slap, and I was like, okay, not a sock. He wasn't socking him. It was a show of disrespect.
And a lack of strength.
I mean, it's not really about strength, right? He wasn't trying to
no
knock him
matter
out.
what I say, you're gonna come back.
What you're saying is like it's not it's not right. He wasn't trying.
You don't know how much he was trying.
It's a slap.
Yeah, you could. People can get knocked out with a slap.
Like they can,
or they can be taken off their feet with a slap.
They can, and he wasn't trying to take him off his feet. He was trying to show some disrespect towards him.
He could have just said whatever the fuck he wanted to say.
Performative violence, not a show of strength.
He didn't have to walk up there.
Performative violence, I think, is right. It was returning the insult. And
no, he could have returned the insult by literally returning the insult.
Could have.
Yeah,
but this was a return of insult. It's not dumb.
It is dumb. It's a really dumb fucking move.
Nah, I think it's dumb to think that slapping is like this horrible thing to do. It's assault. It's bitch made assault. If you get slapped and you press assault charges, it's a little bitch made.
Wow.
If you get slapped, what you should do is knock the motherfucker out. That's the real retaliation.
Okay.
Getting slapped and calling the police like he slapped me is kind of a bitch made thing to do.
Okay. So all of you assault victims out there, Billy the Fridge.
Yes, if you got slapped, and that was it, and you want to play assault victim, then I think you're a bitch.
Okay.
If you got slapped.
It's like so many shit takes after shit.
Zoltan is not in jail right now, and Zoltan socked me. He socked me and tried to throw me down a flight of stairs. You know who didn't? You know who didn't slap me? EBZ. He thought I was going to call the cops. He wouldn't slap me. If he would have slapped me, you know who would have called the cops? Not me. I would have kicked his ass. But I'm not trying to give him green light to slap me. If he wants to slap me, he's got to be a man and fucking do it. He's got to fucking throw fear out the window. If you want to be bad, be bad. Don't be bad because you have a window of opportunity. And I want to shout out everybody out there right now who thinks that Will Smith tried to kill Chris Rock with that slap.
Hardly anybody thinks that.
Judd Apatow.
Yeah.
This is for Judd Apatow. Ben thinks you're an idiot.
Yeah, I don't agree with that at all.
Why are you so worked up? Am I worked up?
He very passionately defends whatever the majority of the people are against.
Nah.
Yes.
Nah.
Yep.
Nope. Zoltan was protecting his girl. You got what you deserve, Billy. Hey, he invited me in his house, said mi casa, su casa. I thought that meant I could open his fucking girlfriend like a tall boy. Crack her like a fucking 22 of Pabst Blue Ribbon.
So, everybody, in about 10 minutes or so, we're going to go do a Patreon private show. Our second this month. We normally do them on Fridays, but we had to reschedule one of them. And we hope that many of you will join us there. And we'll probably let's see.
Patrons $5 and above. Tonight we're running a March Madness poll bracket. We're gonna have the 32 teams. We're going all the way back with nostalgia. We're gonna hit up the cool Saturday morning cartoons. 80s, 90s, some 70s even. Mikasa doesn't mean bang his girlfriend, Billy. The curse of Zoltan lives on. She tried to fucking push on me. The curse of Zoltan did not go to Will Smith.
So, what we're doing is we're going to go ahead and put up all of these popular, mostly 1980s and 90s Saturday morning cartoon shows. There's a few 2000s in there. Then there's like a few 70s ones in there.
Are there some 2000s in there?
Maybe not. Anyway, I'd like to explain what we're doing.
Sounds good.
I have all these polls set up for each one of these. It took forever to make a poll for every one of them. I even have the ones that haven't been decided yet, so I can just type the names in and open them up. And you, the viewers, will be voting on the winners of each one. So that's something That's something we're going to be doing after this is done.
We're going to decide the greatest Saturday morning cartoon of that particular time period. 70s, 80s, 90s. And there's probably some of your favorites on there that might not have made this list.
Of course.
We had to be very careful, and some of our favorites aren't on there.
Yeah, there's the one that I'm like, are you trolling with it?
Which one?
The Ghostbusters, not the real Ghostbusters. The fucking...
That's not trolling.
Yes, it is. I see how you're smirking.
No, that's the Ghostbusters.
Nobody liked that.
Well...
Nobody liked that.
You put them in at 32?
That was based off of like a 1950s TV show or something.
Yeah.
And the only reason it came back is because the other Ghostbusters with Dan Aykroyd got so popular, but they owned the copyright to the name that they were like, oh, well, let's just revive this property. And just because it's popular, people will watch it. They're like, oh, this is Ghostbusters. But you actually like that.
It had a monkey.
I know it had a monkey, which doesn't necessarily
There's no
make it better.
Hanna-Barbera in here. Like there's no Nickelodeon. We specifically kept Nickelodeon out of here.
Well, Nickelodeon wasn't known for Saturday morning.
Yeah.
And honestly, most of the Saturday morning stuff was network. It would have been on one of the big four networks.
Yeah, a lot of these are syndication. Some of these are Fox cartoons, stuff like that, but it's cute. We're going to go through the member berries, nostalgia. We're going to make some member berry juice. It was Filmation. I liked Hanna-Barbera stuff. There's all types of stuff. Doug specifically is on here because of ABC's Doug.
It's the ABC
not
Doug.
the Nickelodeon Doug.
Which was better.
Patty Mayonnaise at the Hulker Burger. I think I've watched at least an episode of all these. I don't know. I put gargoyles on here for there's probably 7 Hot Topic wearing Cobes types that love gargoyles.
I watched Gargoyles, but I didn't watch it on Saturday mornings. I watched it when they were rerunning it early in the morning before I would go to school. There was the blocks of children's programming. There was the before school, after school, and then weekend programming.
Princess Sources, I don't even know if it's there, but I vote for Animaniacs. Yeah, Animaniacs.
It's on there.
Pinky and the Brain, not on there. That was
that was part of Animaniacs.
They had their own show too, and so did the Tiny Toons Adventures, not on there. There's a lot that just didn't make the list. There's some good stuff. Mask is not on there. Or did you put Mask on?
No.
Yeah, Mask is not on there. Ben loved Mask. There's all types of good stuff that didn't make it on here, but it's okay. We're going to town. We're voting. We're gonna get the numero uno March Madness in effect. Super Mario Bros. Super Show. That's a big miss too.
That was after school though. I don't think that was Saturdays. I used to watch that at my grandma's house after school.
Yeah, I don't know if they started going to syndication after school after Saturdays. They debuted Saturdays. It was there's a whole bunch of different stuff. The Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
Super Mario Brothers Super Show was 5 days a week, and Fridays was the Legend of Zelda.
We do have Batman the animated series on there. It's in the top 6. Yep. If you look at it's in the third bracket down from the top. But yeah, there's so many on here that might have to come about in a future bracket because there's usually 64. In a real March Madness?
Yeah, that's a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, I almost thought about trying to get us to do 64, but logistically...
It just took forever.
It's too much.
Yeah.
There is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Ninja Burples?
There's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Ninja Burples?
Ninja Burples. They're in there. They should be, at least. I remember they were on the list at one point, and everything else that was on the list is... But yeah, there's more down below too. That's what you're not seeing. Member Kids WB? Member? I do. Do the Mario. Executables is really going to go hard for the lack of Mario Brothers Super Show.
It wasn't really that good.
I used to like it. It had Captain Lou in it, right? So
yep. Yeah, it did.
I was off the bat. I was in it. I was like, this is Captain Lou Albano. He's playing Super Mario. He is Super Mario. What version of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? The original?
Yeah.
The OG cartoon, Papa. You loved X-Men, The Tick. See, I didn't watch a lot of The Tick, but it made it in there. I don't remember the animated version of Godzilla.
No.
That Executables is going through the whole. I bet you I can just imagine That Executables dancing the Mario in the background. Do the Mario. Oh yeah, there's no Master of the Universe in there. That didn't make it.
Yeah, I don't.
There's so many that didn't make it, but there's just so many.
Yeah.
I looked on a list of top animated Saturday morning cartoon shows and was cherry picking the ones out. What about the RoboCop cartoon? See, we'll put it this way. This is the definitive list. If your favorite thing's not on there, it's because it stunk. Or clerical error. Remember when you were in your 20s and you thought you felt young? How now the 90 kids are the boomers. That is crazy, huh? All these little babies are boomers. Inspector Gadget. We had to have that on there. We were talking about it on the show the other day. The Claw. Oh, we forgot the Starship Troopers cartoon. Shut it down. Shut it down,
I
Ben.
never saw that.
Shut it down.
No, I never saw that.
Gotta shut it down. We forgot the Starship Troopers cartoon, guys.
I used to watch this one show. It was called Brave Star. You ever seen that?
I don't think so.
It was like sci-fi / western. It was like a cowboy type character that had this robot horse that he would ride.
Sounds interesting.
The action figures were like super huge.
Did you wedge Galaxy High into here?
No.
Yeah. Ben brought up Galaxy High. If you guys have seen it, I don't remember it. Silverhawks, I thought about trying to wedge them in.
I liked
Tailspin. Good one.
In some ways, I liked Silverhawks better than Thundercats. I always thought they should have done a crossover episode. And then so the same company that made Silverhawks and Thundercats made a third one called Tiger Sharks that hardly anybody remembers. That was very similar. They always would like mix two animals together and be like, there it is.
The criteria for this was not Nickelodeon. And it was Saturday morning, right? That was what we were thinking.
Yeah.
Saturday morning cartoons, like a cartoon madness. Beast Wars. I Met a Monkey. Beast Wars. And it was no Nickelodeon. We made sure to keep Nickelodeon out of it. That was like its own little thing. I felt like that was the beginning of a whole new era of cartoon.
Yeah, and then fucking Cartoon Network came and just kind of killed Saturday morning cartoons.
So I'm thinking, if you guys feel like we missed some of your favorites, maybe in the Patreon comments, put your favorites, and we'll have to do the Eastern bracket or whatever some other time. This could be this one bracket of the March Madness. If you guys enjoy this as much as you do now when you're telling us all this stuff that's missing.
Somebody said Street Sharks. I can't think about that without thinking about Vin Diesel.
Yeah, right? That's literally when I saw Street Sharks on the list, I was like thinking of him in his gay outfit trying to sell toys to questionable toy buyers. They knew what they were doing when they hired Vin Diesel to wear that leather and talk to those toy buyers the way he did. Street Sharks were a TMNT clone. Yeah,
there was a lot of those.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons the regular Ghostbusters is in here. Because they're like completely like a ripoff of the real Ghostbusters. In a weird way.
It's kind of, I mean, they just have the same name. And one predates the other, but it was nowhere near as popular.
Hypothesis is asking about Ash and Misty no longer being an official ship. Is that really a thing with Pokemon?
Oh, I don't know.
I have no idea. Serena is Ash's girl? Serena from...
Serena Williams?
I know. Did he just pop out?
I don't know
which
which
Venus, yeah.
They look a lot alike because they're sisters. I thought they were twins at one time, but I don't think they are.
Yeah, they're not twins.
Yeah.
Do you remember when they did the Battle of the Sexes?
In tennis?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did not do too well.
Yeah, that's why there's different divisions.
They got beat back to back by a guy who was like low ranked. X-Men is the best series on this list, in my opinion. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this goes.
Yeah, I think it'll be a strong showing.
We got a lot of I honestly think that we could do the other 32 in a whole other bracket because there's some good stuff that got left out.
And then we could do one ultimate bracket.
One ultimate bracket. But there's always two brackets in the March Madness, right?
No, there's one big bracket.
But doesn't it go down to like the final two teams? Isn't it like the final two teams don't face each other, do they?
Yeah, they do.
They do? Oh.
Yeah, so there's 64 teams that they start with, and then they whittle it all the way down to just 2 teams, and then they play for the championship.
Maybe we'll do another bracket for the next private show or something if you guys are that interested. And then we'll have a post show one day where we focus on the final 2 for the post show. Boom, boom, boom.
All right. I think it's about time. Everyone, thanks for watching. And we will see all of you.
$5 and above patrons. Come watch this March Madness cartoon all-star showdown.
Yeah, link in the description.
On the Patreon. Come get it.
We will see you there. Good night.
In the beginning, there was nothing. And then there was the Drunken Peasants Podcast.
Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. From the strangest corners of the internet, gonna get TP'd by Billy and Ben. You know where you can find them at. Get ready, cause they're gonna kick your... Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants.